listening to A Band of Gamers, podcasting since 2012. Three older best mates share a few laughs and keep you current with discussions about the latest news, consoles, and games. Join the conversation and the community. abandofgamers.com. You're listening to ABOG, A Band of Gamers. What's going on?
Podcast.
We got our New Year's resolutions. I don't know what these guys got planned. Well, I kind of know what they've got planned, but I'm going to lay down some rules. I'm going to lay it out in audio so I stop my impulsiveness in 2021.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know about you out there, but I'm pretty impulsive. I just bought guitars and amps, right? I don't even need this stuff.
It's easy, right?
When it comes to video games, like I get the same sort of impulsiveness. Need all the systems, need all the games. Don't even have time to play them all, but need them all.
Right. Especially with a new generation of consoles now upon us, and there's going to be lots of new titles coming out this next 12 months or so. It's going to be tough, man. I don't know if you can do it.
That's right. So that's me. I got some New Year's resolutions. These guys have got backlog games they want to attack, play, and then they're going to share games they're looking forward to in 2021. New releases. I've got some of those as well. We've got what we're drinking, what we're playing. That's a lot. That's an hour. That's a full hour right there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Joel, your MC, one of your three co-hosts, recording in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA. Joining me on this podcast journey, these two fine fellows, first of all, from Birmingham, England, ready to make 2021 his year. It's Karl. Hey, Karl.
Hello. Yes, 2021 is going to be another great year for me. I'm set those goals, got those targets there ready. Let's go get it. Let's go have a good year.
I love it. And of course, from Vancouver, Canada, New Year who dis? It's Shane. Hey, Shane.
Hey. Yeah, it's going to be, well, I mean, it can't really get much worse than 2020. Am I right, boys? Come on, man.
Yeah. It's pretty rough.
We got some decent little resolutions, and we're ready, man. 2021 came just in time.
Sure did. Live music would be nice. Think that's going to happen in 2021? It seems still like it's going to be a challenge. Big concerts maybe, might be 2022, but maybe some local music or something, getting back out there on some stages here later this year. That would really help make my...
Could see some of the clubs and, maybe even a few, some theaters and whatnot, opening up and whatnot. We'll see how it goes. Everybody, doing their part and get through this a lot quicker, and we'll get to those gigs a lot quicker.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right, let's tear right into it here. New Year's resolutions, 2021. For me, my first one, and it's a big one. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm certainly going to try. I'm not going to buy a PlayStation 5 in 2021.
Nice.
What do you guys think? Think I can make it? I walk into a store, if that's even a thing in 2021, and I see it sitting on the shelf. Am I actually going to not walk out with that, or am I going to hold steady? And because I'm laying it out here for all of you to listen to and make fun of me if I fail, can I pull it off?
I think you could. I think that's going to be tough because you are very good at impulse buying, but it is still the first year of a console. And like I said earlier, there's going to be a lot of great games. However, I don't know if there's going to be just enough. So at the end of the day, I think you can do it, and I expect you to do it. But there's that. They're so easy on impulse. So buying we've all bought a console just because we were in the store and saw it there. Maybe it was on sale. Maybe it was with a packing game that we've wanted to play. We've all been there. We've all done it. But if there's any year Joel doesn't buy a new console, this is the year.
I like your confidence. I am not confident. That's why I asked if you guys think I'm confident, because even I am like, I don't know about this one.
It's a toughie. I don't think you'll make it, mate. With the best intentions, because you just see it there, and there'll be a packing. There'll be like a couple of games. We've got some good games coming out next year, and you might be like, it was there. I had to pick it up. I hope you can stick to it, dude. But I think it will be a struggle. I don't think you'll make it.
See what he did there, Shane? Now that's motivation. Carl's like, I don't think you can do it. And right now, I really want to do it because Karl said he doesn't think I'm going to do it.
I bet you one new guitar. No, wait.
Too many of those. Well, in November, I made the decision to pick just one. It's only been like 2 months. Can I stick with just one? I think I can. Show some restraint here. And there's plenty to play on that Xbox Series X. I got a big backlog. Yep. I've got tons of the Game Pass is just bubbling at the seams there. So I'm gonna do this. No PlayStation 5 for me in 2021. Do you guys have any?
And it'll probably still be a few months before you'd be able to find one on the shelf. So you got that going as well, man. You got a bit of a, bit of that lull, I guess, or I don't know. Palmer, what's the word I'm thinking of? Come on, buddy. That's it.
Lull's the right word, I think.
Oh. Well, 2021's already a win.
He won it. He won 2021. Yeah, that quiet time, like, and you've done it all. Like, oh man, God of War 2.
God of War 2 is the one that's going to be. I think that's the tough one. Looking at the upcoming schedule, games in 2021. I saw that May release. They're expecting it to release in 2021. That would be like, oh shit, I need to play that game. That's what makes me buy a new console, or impulsively mostly. Well, not really. I buy them all anyway. But that's what's going to make it difficult is that game, whatever that game is that comes out that I feel like I have to play and I can't play on my Xbox. That's going to be the edge pusher right there.
But knowing Sony, they'll say it's 2021 and it'll be like 2024 before it comes out anyway. So there's always that.
Yeah, and I don't get that. Why they think it's coming, or whoever think it's coming in 2021 when all we've seen so far is a logo. Right. Really? That's enough for you to think it's coming in 2021? The logo?
Right. First quarter.
Let's go. It's a holiday game next year for sure. I'm sure I remember watching something on a press conference when it come out and it did say 2021 after it. I'm sure that has been confirmed as like a light release, but it's well within the realm of possibility that just gets pushed back, And
come at me, please. Send us an email, abogpod@gmail. Tweet at me at 5spotjoel. You think I can make it? Make fun of me like preemptively. I'd love it. I need more motivation to actually make it through this.
Send them all the PlayStation 5 deals you find.
Oh, shit.
No. Come on, guys.
Well, before I go through, I've got a couple more on my list here. 2 more New Year's resolutions. You guys got anything besides backlog and new games you want to play this year? Do you have any resolutions for in gaming 2021?
For me,
yeah,
it's definitely the streaming part. Like I got back to streaming this year, loved it, and it's just been interrupted again with moving house and everything. So I think next year definitely going to be getting through some of these big meaty RPGs, and I'm just going to stream them. I'm just going to hunker down and do that. And another New Year's resolution, which some people have been asking me to read stuff, right? And I enjoy reading. So it's not really gaming related, but there may be a bit of narration, bit of book reading going on.
Whoa, you're starting an ABOG book club?
Yeah, it could be. ABOG book club, like a lunchtime book club. It could be happening. So I've got something in mind that people have been asking for, and I think it might happen. So I need to stick to that, make that commitment, and stick to set times, do that streaming game, and put myself into a little bit more. I've got the time, and I'm working from home probably until most of next year. So why not, man? Why not? Let's do it. Let's get me moved in, set up, and let's hit the ground running in January.
I have to admit, I'm pretty damn intrigued there by this reading idea. What he's got up his sleeve there, Shane. Not sure there.
Maybe video game manuals.
Ooh.
Bring manuals back. Come on, man.
You know what?
It costs a lot to do.
I was only thinking that the other day and thinking about like digital versus physical and all this sort of kind of stuff. And I was like, oh man, I love a manual. Like when you could dig in to get that new manual smell out of the box and be like, you got all the screenshots and the moves and stuff. And And every single game has this stupid tutorial in it that you just want to skip. And like, I'd rather just be able to read the pictures and just have that little thing in the box, man. It's that I miss that.
That's the reason why I love grabbing games from like limited run and whatnot. They always have a manual included. You know, like I got that Toe Jam and Earl game. Man, that book is that's like an encyclopedia, man. That thing came with, man. That's a thick ass book, man. There's got to be like 40 pages in there. But yeah, bring back some manuals. Let's go.
What's your resolutions there, Shane? Or you got anything?
Yeah, I gotta work on the backlog. I kind of tripped up quite a bit in 2020. You know, there's only like Red Dead 2 that I actually did, and I could have just kind of. It was a wild year. Let's be fair. You know, it really was, and you know, was easily distracted. But I've started 2021 off right, working on the backlog. We'll get to it in a little bit. You're gonna have to hang on, stay tuned. But yeah, you know, with a lack of games, and I traditionally, like when you had nothing to play, it would just kind of like buy a game, even if you're not 100% into, you know, what it is. It's just something, you're buying games because it's something to play, not I want to buy this game because, oh man, I really want to play that, right? It's just you're spending money to kill time and whatnot, and you know, this is the year I think that's going to transition. I still got some games on the shelf. I really need to not only play, like open the cellophane and actually play it. So we'll see what happens, man. That's what I want to do, man. Just work on what I've got, and you know, stop, like Joel, stop those impulse buys of, oh hey, you know, this game's on sale for like $30, whatever, and it's like, oh, grab it, and then you play it 3 times, and nah. So yeah, let's do that, boys.
100% agree. That is also one of my resolutions. Stop buying games and never playing them. Like I've just packed up all my consoles. Everything's done up off the PS5 is sat behind me, but everything else has been boxed up, and I'm putting games away, and they're in the cellophane, and the missus is like, "You never played this?" I'm like, "Nope." Like, you know, you're buying these games brand new, aren't you? And like they just chuck on the shelf, and you know. I know when the sun hits the shelf from a particular angle, and you see the ones that are shiny, and you see the ones that still have the plastic wrap on. You go, "Oh God!" Like I've got to stop doing that. So yeah. Also, you know, I'm in that boat, Shane. If I want to play a game, I'll buy it on day one. That's absolutely fine. But otherwise, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to sit back and just get it when I'm ready.
Grab a paddle. You know, it's gonna be great. You know, video game podcast. Stop buying games. You know, it's gonna be great. We're in tune for some ripping episodes this year, man. We're relying on our entertainment skills here. It's gonna be great. Let's go.
We're screwed. Well, that leads right into my second resolution for the year. Karl just hit on it. Buying games and putting them on the shelf. Man, I am like very guilty of that. I've got a hell of a gaming shelf, like I suppose a lot of you do. Too many of those games I've never played. What a waste. What a waste of money. What a waste of space. My resolution, I'm only going to buy digital games in 2021. I love the gaming shelf. I love going to Best Buy. I haven't in a while, obviously, but you go in the shop, pick a game out, you look at the artwork, the box art, take it up to that register, you buy it, you take it home, you put it on the shelf, maybe play it. Never know. But I want to go all digital. Maybe this generation, but definitely for starters here, 2021, all digital. I think that's going to help. And I didn't even think about it this way until Karl hit on it. But I don't think I'm going to buy a game and put it on the shelf if I'm buying it digitally. If I'm buying it digitally, I'm buying it with the intent on playing it, not just putting it in my digital locker.
Yeah, and plus there's something about the way that it's just there, isn't it? You know, it's the accessibility. Like if you're buying it and downloading it and it's just sat there, it's the first thing that you see on your console and you're like, I've just bought that, I'm going to boot it up. And it's so easy to put stuff on the shelf and never do it. I do it with DVDs, Blu-rays as well. You know, they'll just come in the post and I'll get round to watching that. And then it's on Netflix and I'm like, oh, brilliant, I don't need to open it. And I've been packing Blu-rays and they're all in the bloody wrapper. And I'm like, it's got to stop. It's so daft.
Do you think load times or lack thereof play a part in that? Because I've also had, like, the few PS5 games I do have, I've bought them digitally already. And just because of the fact that it's going to take me longer to get off my fat ass and go pull it off the shelf and take the shrink wrap off and put the game in. By that time, the game's already booted up and I'm already in the, the first mission or whatnot. It seems like even though all of our consoles that we own have disk drives, it just seems like there's something about them that is set up for digital games feel a little bit more comfortable on them, if that makes any sense. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely, we've reached that point where, having it ready to go. And like you say, now you can suspend the game, jump straight into another one. And the thing with that, Shane, is that all these games have a massive day one patch anyway. Like you get the game, you put it in, and then you got a 60 gig, 70 gig download. So you're downloading the game regardless. You might as well just buy the digital license. I did it with Borderlands 3 before we jumped online and played through that, and I was like, I can wait for the disc, but I've got to install it anyway. So I might as well buy the game digitally and just do it. And I definitely feel that will be that kind of thing. I wanted the disc drive on the PS5 purely because if I'm out and I see it in the store and it's like, oh man, I don't know, Spider-Man Miles Morales is 15 quid or whatever, I'll pick it up and I will. It's cheap enough and it's valuable enough to do it. But yeah, I've been discless on PC for about 10 years. There's no games, there's no physical thing. I've just got a Steam library that looks like horrendous because I haven't played so many of them. It's just getting you, once you're into that infrastructure, it totally works. And I think having this generation of consoles will do for console gamers what PC gamers have had for years. I think you've definitely got that accessibility, and the speed is key.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? Is you find something on sale for $10, you grab it while it's on sale, put it in the shelf, and then maybe play it in the future. With my plan to buy digital, I don't think I'm going to buy it on sale and just sit on it. I'd like to buy a game and play it. So that may make getting good deals more challenging, right? By the time I want to play it, I saw it for $10 3 months ago. Now it's 40 again. Crap. Rather than being in the store, it's $10. You grab it, put it in the shelf, you have it, add it to the backlog. Main reason I'm doing this though, and get ready, make fun of me, tree hugger. I want to reduce my carbon footprint. I got way too much shit in my house that I do not need. I've got a shelf full of Xbox games. That's great to have, but I'd love to have an extra shelf to put more stuff on. I don't need all these games laying around. So yeah, a little bit tree hugger hipster there for you. Sorry, but that was my main reason for going digital. To be honest, do my part. Do my part a little bit better. Guitars are recyclable, right? They're wood.
You never would, though.
Oh,
I wouldn't. No, I'm not going to recycle my guitars. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I would give it back to the earth, right? These games are just piling up. You guys live near a waste management space? Do you ever drive by and see like a giant mound of garbage and see the vents with the gas pouring out of this giant hill? It's a hill now, but it's full of garbage. We've got one maybe 10, 15 miles from here. I drive by it on occasion. What a reminder of all the waste, all the trash that we contribute to this planet. It's actually disgusting. And on a windy day, there is just plastic bags blowing everywhere. It's around this giant hill. And it makes me sad, really sad. Again, sorry, tree hugger hipster. I just get real, I'm like, oh my God. And ever since I saw those plastic bags growing around, I shit you not, every time I go to the grocery store now, I choose paper. No plastic. No plastic, please. That stuff does not break down.
I actually got paper bags from the grocery store this morning just because it feels old school, man. It feels like, when you're a kid and, your moms or whatnot has got, the big paper bags, man. But hey, man, there's people, there's those video game boxes and the recycling and whatnot, man. It keeps a lot of people employed, though. I got to hand it to them. It's not an easy job. I wouldn't like it, but I'm going to continue to do my part.
Yeah,
I'll buy physical games now and then. Still,
you say trigger stuff there, Joel, but it's valid.
Yeah,
it totally is valid, and everyone needs to do their bit. And every part of the world's different. You know, we recycle a lot, but still there is so much waste. And in terms of stores, they don't give you bags anymore. You know, you have to take your own or whatever. Like that's the best way of doing it. But there's probably an argument for how much energy is you like before, when you didn't have to download the game on a disc you already owned. Like you used to put the cartridge in, it instantly works. You know, you used to put a disc in, you didn't have that massive day one patch. But now that you're downloading the game anyway, so you've got the energy costs. You know, you make a good point, mate. You know, it is what it is. It's you know, and all those little gains, anything we can do bit by bit, each of us, for the environment is great. So yeah, you know, don't throw it away as a tree hugger stuff. It's important. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. I feel validated, less like a hipster there with my whole reducing carbon footprint thing. Backlog. Let's talk about the backlog. I also got that on my list. All three of us got that on our list.
Yep.
I don't really, I don't know. I think I did very well in 2020. Is that the year that just finished? Yes. 2020,
Yeah.
the year that we want to forget. I think I did pretty well with God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, and all the other games that escape me at the moment. Got Uncharted 4. I beat a lot of the big games that I went after. So
You crushed it, dude.
my list is small.
Seriously.
My list is small right now. But Shadow of the Tomb Raider still never finished that one. I wanted to, didn't get around to it. Hades is on my list. I bought it digitally. Yes, on the Switch. Love to play through that one. But that's really it for my backlog. I think I've got a shelf full of games, right? I'm sure I can pick something else out. But I'm probably just going to roll more with Game Pass and digital new releases that we're going to talk about. New releases we want to get here shortly. But what do you guys have on your backlog?
Well, I mean, I got through, I think, 10 games in my backlog last year. I think I finished 25 games in total, including like 8 platinum games and 7 from 2020 that were released. But I really want to try and double that. You know, I want to try and get through like 20 odd games if I can in the backlog. You know, a couple of months, and especially not work. You know, not having to travel to work. You've got that commute time back, like in the morning. You know, stream for a couple of hours from 7 o'clock till 9 or whatever. So I reckon it's doable. And I've got so much stuff on the shelf, so much that's there waiting in, you know, PlayStation, PC, Xbox, whatever. I'd like to do that. I'd like to get through them and just tick them off and be like, yeah, get a sense of validation from it. So all the ones I've got on there already, and some of those are big RPGs I'd like to try and get through. And yeah, just try and get them done and dusted, and just make myself feel a little better about buying them and sitting on them for all these years. Because I've got games, you know, we'll come across the ones that are coming out next year, but say Mass Effect, right, which is, it's been out for so long, and it was PS3 in terms of generations, and I own those games on PC and PS3, and I think I've got 3 on Xbox as well, on 360. I haven't even got a 360, but it was a steelbook, so I was like, oh, I'll have that. And they're now going to be re-released on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X anyway. So I'm like, I'm going to end up buying these again and playing them as but the excuse will be they are technically in the backlog, so I will count those. But I've got to start finishing games before the console generation goes, let alone 2 console generations. You know what I mean? Like it's got to happen.
Right.
How about you, Shane?
I don't have any specifically that I want to name right now and commit to, because I just finished one this morning. So I need a little decompression, because it was the big one that I want to do for quite some time. But I will say I do have Death Stranding, and I have wanted to play that. I did pick it up last year, January 1st, I think. So that one I would like to play, but you know, I got a bunch of you know, indie games, some smaller developer games that I've just been sitting on that I really want to tackle and, you know, give them a fair shot and whatnot. So we'll see what the next one is.
It's good to hear, man. I want to hear more about them indie games on here. I love discovering new games off your Instagram, so I really look forward to hearing you talk about those indie games as you tackle them here in 2021. Before we get
that's definitely a goal, because there is good show, Joel, that keeps me going with it as well, because it's easy to post them up there and whatnot, and you know, that's fun and all, but you know, there's some that I just put in and just gave a, you know, an hour of time with that I really need to actually go through and do.
We put this in our Discord. You can join our Discord over on our website, abandofgamers.com. There's links to join. Love to have you there. But we asked for your input, or folks in their community there on Discord, for New Year's resolutions. Tim Paulin, famous YouTube streamer, putting his content on ABOG's YouTube there. Friend of the show. Resolutions, beat The Witcher 3. That's a big one. He's got Metal Gear Solid 5 and the pile of shame I have bought, but haven't even installed. Sounds like he's guilty of doing what we do. Camino 202. To improve my FIFA skills and knowledge, and also not buy a new game on release, but to wait until its 15th post-release patch before spending cash.
Good show.
And also Far Cry 6. I'm looking at you. Brad, our writer, the music expert in ABOG. He's looking to finally beat Pitfall. Nice one, Brad. Rich G. Mine's Manic Miner. What's
Whoa.
That's that's like an old school game like Pitfall, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We go in old school on both of those. Manic Miner was like Commodore 64, Spectrum. Pitfall was in before that, wasn't it? That was Atari, I think.
All right, guys, you got to do this. Brad, you have to beat Pitfall, and Rich G, man, you put it in writing. Manic Miner, you got to beat that. Did you even beat Pitfall? And I think it just keeps on going, right?
Wasn't it the first?
The pits just keep getting bigger.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think I've ever played it.
It's like the first endless runner. It just goes on. Manic Miner was a hard game, that was. That was really tough. I wouldn't like to try and finish that.
Then our pal Kafad. This year's resolution is to really try and not buy new games until I finish my backlog. I failed miserably at this resolution in 2020. You know what? Honestly, I didn't read these until we sat down here to record, but they're really hitting all the same things we just talked about. I mean, we're kind of all on the same page here. Special. I love it. Way to go, guys.
Yep. In 2020, it was an easy year to pick up the new games. You know, 'cause we had a new generation looming. It's like, here's the chance to get this in before, and then, you know, life grabs hold of you and changes your decisions for a bit.
Yeah. Do you know what my only worry is, though? Is that 2020 was the perfect year for getting games done, right?
Wow.
So, but it was. I mean, it really was. You literally had to stay in. So, are we gonna beat 2021 numbers? Like, you know, what do we think? Do we think we can? I will commit. I will do mine. I will. I know what games I really want to target. I reckon I can do more backlog games than I did last year. I did 10 last year, which sounds a lot, but it wasn't really when you think some of them were like a lot of the Witcher expanded DLC, stuff like that. So beating that, I think I can do it, but we're not going to have a good opportunity as last year, surely.
You never know. You know, it's still going to be a while. We got some months here.
Yeah, I didn't make that a goal, Karl. I'm not trying to beat what I did last year. That's going to, my 2020, as far as backlog, is going to live in infamy in my gaming history. Be thinking about that one in my casket, like, yep, 2020, man, finished 3 games, set new records. I actually finished Batman Arkham Knight the other day, too. So it was another one in the backlog, and I got that in at the end of 2020. So very accomplished year for me. No way in hell, Karl, I'm being able to beat that in 2021, but good for you, man. That's to beat 10 to double that 20 games. You're saying out of your backlog.
Yeah.
That's pretty ambitious.
I'll try. Why not? I reckon I can do it. And I mean, I haven't finished any games this year. I mean, I don't think any of us have managed to finish a game already. It's the 3rd of January, right, Shane?
Speak for yourselves, boys. Come on. It's only way. And now, if I don't top my last year, because I think I was only the one game, if I don't do that, and I'm already tied last year, so there's gonna be some hell to pay on the show here. It's gonna be some trouble.
Yeah, you better beat that. That's you're already there, and it's recording on the 3rd here of January. Already tied last year, like you said. So yeah, you better beat that. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna walk to Vancouver, slap you around. I think if you don't.
Oh, come on up. Here's in the fridge, son.
He won't do it now.
We'll start walking. See you in January. Well, let's get to the new games we've got on our list. Karl said he wants to focus on his backlog. He wants to not buy games that put him on the shelf, but has 8 games listed here for what he wants to buy in 2021. So you got the biggest list, Karl. Why don't you read through what you got here?
Okay. I'll stand by this, to be fair. So, first off for me is Persona 5 Scramble, or Strikers, I think it's called over here in the West. And it's a Persona 5 game, which isn't really a typical JRPG. It's more of an action RPG. If you think kind of Horror Warriors or Dynasty Warriors, that kind of game, or a button masher, but it carries on the story of Persona 5. But it actually comes out in February. So I'm thinking this is one I could just pick up and smash through. Looking forward to that. God of War Ragnarok, we've talked about it. Look, the first one was amazing. I'm assuming the second one will also be amazing. And whenever that comes out, I'll pick that up on day one. But I will want to play that straight away. Hogwarts Legacy, really looking forward to that. I mean, Harry Potter. Who doesn't want to play an open world Harry Potter game? So, Harry Potter. And when we play, Joel's hand's gone straight up because I've never seen a Harry Potter film. Well, actually, I don't know that, Joel. Have you seen a Harry Potter film?
I have not. It's,
okay.
It's like Shane Star Wars.
My guess was pretty good. Yeah, it's Shane. It's like Star Wars for Shane. But we watch them a lot. We do look like the world and everything else. It's really cool, and the game looks pretty fun. So definitely looking forward to picking that one up. What else have we got? That Kena Bridge of Souls, Bridge of Spirits. That game looked pretty cool, and like the open world, very kind of cartoony but really colourful. Graphics are wicked, and we've only really seen the trailer, I think, from E3. Or the shows that were E3, but that's meant to be coming out, I think, by the half-year point. So definitely on the radar. And Horizon Forbidden West as well. That game looks awesome, and it is confirmed for 2021. So definitely playing that. But I do need to finish the first game, so that's definitely one I'll be doing in the backlog for 2021.
Good list there, man. And how much you want to bet that God of War Ragnarok is 2022 or later?
Oh, I wouldn't take that bet.
Damn.
I think it all depends, and honestly, what Microsoft are doing around the holiday time. I think they probably don't want. Nobody now wants to rush a game after what's happened with Cyberpunk. So I think if Microsoft isn't looking too hot, towards the end of the year, that you may well find that just gets pushed into 2022.
I think Microsoft's 2022 is going to be much better than their 2021 as far as big new releases. And they just bought all those studios within the last year, so it's going to be a while unless they've got stuff in the pipeline there at Bethesda that they can now take advantage of. But yeah, they do have Halo Infinite coming. The game that was supposed to launch with the Xbox Series X got delayed. I bought an Xbox Series X. You're damn right I'm looking forward to Halo Infinite. Because what else am I going to look forward to besides Flight Simulator? A new Forza, maybe, So Halo Infinite, seriously though, it looks really good. I know it got kind of panned in the media and by a lot of fans out there for the graphics not looking great and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't look like a next-gen game and all that crap. But the gameplay loop and everything, it looked really good to me. Looked like a fun-ass Halo game. Had all the Halo ingredients. Looked like fun. Looked like a good Halo shooter. I'm in. And I bet you they'll get it. I hope. They got to get this one right. They really do. They can't have this game suck. Way too much riding on it for them. So I'm looking forward to that one. The Medium game coming out here on Xbox, I think pretty soon. Looks like it might be looks like it might be kind of cool.
I think that's at February. That's on my list as well. I want to check that out. Looks pretty good.
It's kind of dark, mysterious. Don't know a whole lot about what's going on in there, but it's piqued my interest. Looks like it might be a good game. Of course, Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel, yet to be named sequel. Unless they're just calling it Breath of the Wild 2, not sure. But more Breath of the Wild? Yeah, put that way up on my list. Put that number 1 on my list. And all these games right now copying or paying homage or respecting or following.
Or bettering.
Yeah, no. That amazing game. I love seeing all the games out there. There's Genshin Impact. There's the Phoenix from Ubisoft there. What's like Phoenix Rise of the Phoenix? What the hell?
Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising. God, these titles are so damn long. I was telling my wife, I started playing that. Telling my wife we were on our walk this morning. She's like, "What are you playing?" I'm like, something Phoenix something. I'm not sure. It's got too long of a title. But Jeff Chorney from Interactive Distractions, remember that podcast? Good guys over there. Jeff's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, it's like Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
Like, oh man, damn it. I got to buy that. So bought it digitally. Back for Blood.
Chorney's the man.
Jeff Chorney. Back for Blood. This is the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 by the same folks who made those other games. Totally looking forward to this one. More Left 4
nice
Dead.
And bloody.
Nice and bloody. Those games were a ton of fun, man. I loved Left 4 Dead. Not on the PlayStation, so I'm not sure you fellas had a chance to. On the PC there, though. Karl, you ever play Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, I had a 360 when it was out, so I did play a bit. Fun game, to play with your mates. And when I saw this on your list in the show notes, and I went and had a look at the trailer and stuff, this looked really good. So I might end up playing this myself, mate. To be fair, I'm not sure if it'll be cross-platform or anything, but who knows? Maybe they'll have an Xbox anyway. I don't know, but yeah, I'll probably pick this up as well.
Fingers crossed it's cross-platform because I'd love to play with us three playing that. That'd be a blast. And then last on my list, Psychonauts 2. Looking forward to that.
Ooh.
Microsoft did buy that studio, Double Fine, but it is still coming to all consoles. So that'll be on PlayStation and Steam and everywhere else as well as the Xbox.
Get some of that extra revenue.
That's right. Before they lock it down and not share again. Well, we'll see.
Right.
It's on your list, Shane.
Big one for me this year is Gran Turismo 7. Really looking forward to that. Looking forward to them going back to, just a proper single player campaign, with a lot of depth to it. And, just seeing how it utilizes the DualSense, that controller, man. I'm jonesing for a racing game. I almost pulled the trigger on a next gen racing game over the past couple of weeks, but you know what? I've held out. I'm holding out. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to wait, and I know it's going to be well worth the wait. We're supposed to be getting that in like second quarter or so probably early 2022, I imagine. But no, that game's far along, man. It's going to be great, man. Looking forward to that. That's the big one I'm looking at. All the others, I just kind of there's one here and there, but this is I can say I'm really looking forward to.
Well, that's it for 2021. Anything else, you guys? Any other resolutions? Anything else you want to talk about? Put out there for your 2021 that you're working on, personally, even.
Drink more beer.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have a hard time beating your 2020, really. In that,
yeah, damn.
Yeah, I went through a few flats this year, so we'll see.
I think for me, just be fitter, exercise a little bit more, and play music more. I've got a great setup now. Like I could just have my drums out, my guitars and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna just take the time to use that space to just to enjoy that more, play more, and just improve. Just become a better musician.
I like that. I'll take both those goals too. Put those on my list. Better musician.
Yeah.
And I'm already pretty trim, but keep it off. Lost 25 pounds during the pandemic and put 5 back on Thanksgiving, and then got frightened by how easy that was to put 5 back on, and then immediately started running in the cold here in the snow. Dropped it right back down. So to keep this weight off and stay trim in 2021, man, I can't wait. Working from home here, got bike rides at lunch and stuff, or just going. It's so convenient. You don't have the commute, so you've got that extra time to exercise, which has been great. And with my playing guitar, I didn't really realize this. I play guitar a lot, but I don't really do so productively. I just pick up my guitar and kind of noodle, And for the longest time, that's how I got better, just noodling. But I'm to a point now where noodling isn't doing anything for me besides keeping my fingers really, I guess, in good shape. So I have to seek out new types of music or new scales or new chords or new songwriting structures and challenge myself. So I subscribe to a couple of those online like guitar courses kind of things. I've been going through those videos. The problem is they start off like the notes on the frets, and it's like it's so remedial. But I really want to work on that too, Karl. I love that goal. We've got no new podcast reviews to share. Damn, that's some bad news. Kicking off 2021, a bad foot there.
Well, it's the holidays, though, right? Since our last episode, we'll let this one slide. We'll let this slide. Next episode, though, come on, man, come on.
Look us up. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Some stars. Leave us some words. Tell us how we're doing. What you like about the show. What you don't like. What we can do better. We prefer the good stuff, but be honest. Love to share your review on the next podcast. Unless you're a total dick, then we're not sharing it. But not counting on that. Really, I think. Yeah. Seriously, leave us a review. We'd appreciate it. Let's share what we've been drinking. I have got to go get mine. So you guys just start.
Oh crap!
Start talking. Are you ready, Shane? You got yours? You got your drink there?
I was just going to go grab another one, man. The conversation's been flowing so well. It's been flowing better than my beer today. So
I'm ready.
Karl's got a chance here to work on his reading skills, which I'm assuming he's gonna be reading by himself. Just like so. Here's some practice for you, Karl. Shane and I are going to walk away. Talk to yourself.
We'll do it. We'll do a tag team.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
That's just no. Okay, you grab yours.
That's a different resolution right there. Anyway, it's stout season. We're in the grip of winter, and I've been loving my stouts the last few weeks, Shane. You've been
loving your stouts the past few years.
This is true. It's not just a stout is not just for Christmas. It's for all year, right? But it's a great time of year.
That's going on your headstone, son.
It's probably not the only thing that's going on my headstone either.
Yeah.
So last episode, the end of 2020, I got a load of stouts from Vocation Brewery.
Okay.
And they do. You'd love this, dude. It's like only one. Like one's enough, but it's so nice. So this is Sweet Temptation, and it's a bit of a. Well, I guess it's a collab. It's a Vocation and Brew York, and this is a chocolate caramel stout. It's only 6.6%, but oh my god, it's one of the nice. It's like when you get a tin of chocolates at Christmas, and then you have that chocolate caramel, and it's just warm and so full of flavor. And this is such a really delicious sweet dessert stout. Oh god, it's full of that caramel flavor, like straight away, that sweetness, and you get that chocolate straight after, and it's just sweet and lovely, and then there's just that bit of bitterness right at the end, and yeah, it's so Moorish, like straight after you're like, I want that sweet hit again. It's a hell of a good beer. They've done some killer stouts like this year. They really have, like cherries, caramels, and just full on chocolate. Yeah, it's really good stuff, mate. Vocation Brewery. Get them while you can. That's all I'll say.
I'm equally impressed just to hear you pronounce caramel properly. That's brilliant. I love it.
Caramel?
Yeah, this seems to be something that's lost, especially with Americans. No offense, Joel. It's not caramel. Caramel is a place that I went to on the West Coast. Caramel, and like aluminium.
Yes,
not aluminum. Aluminium.
I like my caramel in
so
aluminum.
Much trash for my coworkers when I pronounce aluminium.
All right, you pretentious bastards. Shane, do you have to
I'm going to go grab my beer. I'll leave
right.
it to you, man. Tagging you in, bud.
Go on, Joe.
I got here just in time to hear about the chocolate caramel beer. That sounds really, really good, Karl. It looked a good color to it, too, there. It looked delicious. I like your glass. Dancing Duck Brewery.
Yeah, this is I had the a little Christmas box set a couple of years ago from that brewery, and I love the glass. It's so cute.
Very good. I am trying something different in 2021. Starting a new trend here for 2021. I'm sipping a whiskey. I'm going to do that. So I've got, it's called Larceny, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Small batch, 92 proof, which is 46% alcohol. Yeah, John E. Fitzgerald Larceny. I do not have the vocabulary that I've built up talking about beers for years with these two guys with whiskey. But I will say, it's a good sipper. Got a good flavor to it. I don't like a smoky whiskey. Those are not, I don't like that, but this is, it bites you a little bit in a good way. Warms you up going down. And it's dead of winter here, so a lot of snow.
So you're not a fan of those, when you say smoky, like that peaty kind of taste. Like it's almost, smoky, kind of muddy. I'm not a huge whiskey guy, but there are some really nice bourbons that I do like, and there's a few whiskies, particularly Irish whiskies, that I prefer opposed to the Scottish ones. A lot of Scottish ones tend to be that kind of heavy peatiness, but there are still a few that I do like. But bringing a Scotch to the table, nice.
Yeah, very good. I got a couple bottles gifted to me for Christmas this year. They must have known that I needed a little bit of assistance.
Nice.
Getting through the year. So I've got some really good whiskeys, and this is one of them. For my brother-in-law, who he knows his whiskey. So he picked out a good one here. Thanks, Christian.
Nice. Well done. Well, today I'm drinking I got a beer today. No whiskey. I'm not a big... Whiskeys, I got to be in my moment. I got to be in the moment. Maybe a nightcap or whatnot. Got some good friends, good conversation. Have a nice whiskey. That's when it goes great for me. But otherwise, I'm drinking beer. And today I'm drinking from Parallel 49, my favorite brewery, quote unquote. Okay, this is their Bubbie's Brew. It's a jelly donut ale. Some great artwork on there. It's one they did many years ago, and they bring back every so often, and with a lot of troubles over 2020, and especially with food banks and whatnot, they brought this one back, and proceeds from this beer go to Jewish food banks and whatnot around the city. So a fantastic cause. A jelly donut ale. It's got a kind of bit of like almost a sour. You get a little bit of that, a lot of that sweetness in there, but then as you keep going through it, it's an excellent beer. Excellent beer, very, very tasty, and for a great cause. And it's Parallel, man. That's what they do.
You just had like a ghost in your microphone there for a second, Shane. I think it has to do with that jelly ale. I mean, that beer is so good. It jumped into the microphone, went down the cable, came back out, and then you'll hear it in the show.
That's what we do, man.
That's a first. I've never heard that before. But that beer looks really good. Haunted though, I think.
I tell you what, I've only ever had one. The Tiny Rebel over here do a jelly donut beer, and it's so really, it just really, really is good. Again, I couldn't have more than probably one or two. They're only little cans, but man, it's good when they get that mix right. Oh yeah, it's really good. That sweetness, it's so tasty. It's a nice dark color. Yeah,
almost like a raspberry, Bierce, one of those. So, but no, it's very, very tasty. I don't mind it. I would definitely try another after this one. I may.
Good. You got to beat that 2020 beer consumption level. So
I put my work boots on here.
What we've been playing, I just beat Batman Arkham Knight. I mentioned that earlier. Backlog game. I talked about it a couple episodes ago. I think I said, what a great game. I didn't realize it was great. People, when it first came out, wasn't reviewed well, plays better, patched, blah, blah, blah. It locked up on me multiple times on my Xbox Series X, which was very concerning because it's a brand new console. I'm like, why is my console locking up? Is there a problem with the Xbox Series X? Is there a problem with Batman Arkham Knight? Looked it up. There's a problem with Batman Arkham Knight. I had to... I played it off of Game Pass, so I had to delete it, re-download it, just to get it to work, to get past a certain part. It kept locking at the exact same part. So I got past that, and then it happened 3, 4, 5 more times in different spots where it would just lock up on me hard. And then I'd have to turn the console off, turn it back on, just to, go go back to wherever it's saved last and finish it off. So a little frustrating. And the game is pretty bloated. They look for every opportunity to stuff every villain in the Batman universe you can think of in that game, which really kind of waters it down a little bit. I like the main story, but they're constantly poking at that main story with, and here's the Penguin, and here's the Riddler, and here's this guy, and here's that guy, and it's just, oh, holy crap. And then you beat the game, and it's like, now go back and do everything else, and then we'll tell you how it really ends. It's like, I'm done. I'm good. So overall, I'm going to downgrade it a little bit from how glowing I was about it last time. I enjoyed it. I think it's a good game, but I don't think it's as, I think I was too generous when I previously talked about it.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And in terms of the performance thing that you mentioned, this game was so bad. Like, people are raging about Cyberpunk, right? Which is dependent on which system you're playing it on, to be fair. But this was so bad on PC that Steam pulled it, and I don't think it. I think it came back eventually, but it was off. It was gone for so you could not play Arkham Knight on PC because it just didn't work, and they had to refund a load of people and all this sort of stuff. Like, so this stuff does happen. But I really enjoyed the game. But like you, Joel, I got to the end of it, and you get to the big finish in the story, and it was like, well, if you want the true ending, you've got to jump through all these hoops. And even me being a completionist, I was like, I'm not really that invested. But I missed a game out earlier on. Gotham Knights is one I'm looking forward to in 2021, and it looks like that is linked to that main ending from that Batman Arkham game, Arkham Knight. So you might want to make sure you're familiar with the full ending before you go into Gotham Knights. But yeah, well done. Well done on getting through it, because it is a big game, and I just love the way that Gotham looks in those games, man. I hopefully Gotham Knights, even though you don't play as Batman, if it's got all the ray tracing and 4K, that could be a beautiful looking game on this current gen.
I may pick at it a little bit. I do enjoy the world. I like some of the side stuff that they have you do in there. So I doubt I'll ever complete it, 100% it, like they want me to do, to show me whatever happens there at the very, very end. But I may, who knows? I may peck at it a little bit. We'll see. It's a fun game. But by the time I got to the end, I'm like, yes, finally, it's over. Whew.
Yeah,
I didn't need it.
Sense of relief.
I didn't need any more of it.
Well, staying with DC, I've been playing a bit of Lego DC Villains. Super fun. And this is a backlog game. It's been there for ages, and I love the Lego games. I've platinum loads of them, and me and the missus are looking for a game to play together. Something a bit different. And she loves Harley Quinn. Like, we love the cartoon, the recent cartoon series, which is definitely not for children. And we're like, oh, what? Dig this out. Get this off the shelf. And we're about halfway through. And the story is really fun. Like, it's a really cool play on it, because you don't actually play. You do play as the main characters, like, the different villains and stuff through the levels. But the whole idea is you make your own character at the beginning, and you can name it whatever you like. We named ours your mum, as you would do. And as you play through, you acquire all the different powers of the different villains or heroes. So it's pretty cool. Like, it gives it a little bit of originality, and the voice acting's great. The story's pretty good. It's hitting what Joel said there. It's a bit bloated. Like, we got halfway through, and Faye said to me, she's like, "Oh, well, we're close to the end now, because we've been playing this for days." And then you look at the trophies, and there's like another nine levels to go before the final level pops. So I was like, maybe we call it a day for tonight. So I'll definitely get through it. This is probably one of the first ones I get through from the backlog in 2021. But yeah, cool game. Really enjoying it. Nice to play something a bit, where you don't have to think about it, just blast through.
Awesome, man. Shane, come on, man.
Nice.
You've been building it up all show. What's this game you beat so far this year, and it's in your backlog? Big one.
Yeah, I started it on Saturday morning, January 2nd.
Damn.
I had an epiphany, and I'm like, I'm going to play a game. And then I finished it this morning, January 3rd. So I'm
Holy crap.
Yeah, man, I hammered through this, man. I was motoring.
Was it because you were enjoying it, like just glued to your seat kind of thing, or just motivated, or just bored, or why'd you plow through it so quickly?
I mean, it's been dubbed as one of the greatest games ever made. People call it a masterpiece. I know it's Karl's one of his all-time favorite games. It's up there. One of the best series in video game history. Some might say. Sunshine Follows Thunder. Uncharted 2. It had been 5 years since I completed Drake's Fortune, the first Uncharted game, and I always wanted to play through Uncharted 2. And I just woke up and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I got a bit of holidays here, taking some time off work, kind of recharge, decompress and whatnot. That's always good to do. And yes, let's kick it off by, beating a great game. And I did. And yeah, it was fun. Edge of your seat action. It came out 11 years ago, so people probably snickering, listening to me go off about Uncharted 2 and how great it was. It's a great game. It really is. Fantastic. Characters are great. I played the remastered PS4 version. It's brilliant. Definitely feels like a PS3 game. a little bit smoother than I'm sure it was on the PS3, but yeah. There were some times when the camera would kind of swing around and whatnot. It was just like, oh no, but that's the way it was, and that's the way games were back then, especially with the the Naughty Dog games. They did that extremely well, and it was fantastic. Great story. Really enjoyed it. I thought I was getting to the end, and it felt like I was nearing the end. But then, like, it just went on for a couple more hours, and there were some parts where I honestly felt where it was getting a bit repetitive, and just kind of like, oh, this, all right, more of that, okay, and just kept hammering through it. And some of the boss battle at the very end was also like that. It kind of felt like it's going in circles, and
you're running around a tree,
yeah, basically, yeah. But it just. There's some things I thought, maybe they could have tied up a little sooner. There wasn't need for 6 or 8, battles in a row where it's just the same. Oh crap! What is it? Strategy in order to clear all these baddies and whatnot. So in that aspect, near the end, it got. Very repetitive and whatnot, but hammered through it. The train sequence is probably one of the best I've played in an action video game. It is absolutely phenomenal, and yeah, it's at the end of the day, it is a great game. Absolutely brilliant. I am very, very glad to finally play through it. Enjoyed it very, very much. It may be another 5 years before I play another Uncharted game. And these games, the Uncharted series, they pack a lot into these games. You are getting your money's worth no matter when you buy it. You're paying full price. You're getting your money's worth. There is so much there. There's all the collectibles, all that stuff. You really do. They pack a lot into their games. So now it's like, okay, I'm good. I'm good for a bit, and we'll see what we tackle next. Maybe something a little bit more calmer. Maybe a Death Stranding, but probably not just yet. But it was fun to plow through in literally a day. Like you can check my trophies. You can call me out. Do what you want, man. They're there. It literally was like 24 hours. I had a bit of a snooze somewhere in there, but yeah, it was. I'm actually really glad to finally do this one. Well deserved. Great video game, great series so far. And we'll see what happens, man. Maybe they'll toss another Last of Us game in there, in the next 5 years that people can be really upset about or whatnot, and I'll love that too.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you got through it. I'm glad that you played it. I think it's a wonderful game, and I think 2 and 4 in that series are superb and worth your time. But they do the thing, like, it does get bloated. It does get a bit too, it could end before it does, and it does that thing where you're like, oh yeah, I'm not far away, and then you realise you still got a bit to go, and yeah. But well done for getting through it, mate. That's a hell of an achievement to get through it in like 2 days. It's mad.
1 day. Oh no, 2 days.
Yeah,
one sleep in there. You know what I mean? So it's 2 days, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit of a snooze in a few days. Yeah, it was only a few beers, to get through this one. No. Yeah, it's good.
Hey, good on you, man.
Do the other Uncharted games have kind of the same twist of enemies near the end like they did in the first one? No.
1 and 2 have this, like the first.
You know what
game.
I'm talking about. I don't want to
yeah.
spoil it because I'm sure there's 2 other people out there that haven't played this game.
I think it's fair game, but like when I played the first one, and then and you go into the submarine, like when you go to the U-boat, and then you kind of come out, and then there's a different type of enemy, let's say, right?
Sure.
And a similar thing happens in 2, where it's like, it's dudes, and then there's something else, right? No, it's not. Yeah, 3 and 4 don't do that. Like,
Okay,
there's
good.
no. You're quite safe, but it is frustrating when that just drops because you have a full sense of security, don't you? Play for the game, you're like, this is just a great game in itself. You don't need that, and then it drops in. You go, I didn't
makes no
sign up for
sense.
this. What are we doing?
It makes no sense, and that's like my one of my 2 gripes. One being, it gets a bit repetitive when it's not necessary. You can mix in a cutscene or whatnot that keeps moving the dialogue, keeps you on the edge of your seat, like you are most of the game. But then they put those enemies in there, and it's just like, now it's just not making sense. And you can, it's a story and whatnot, and you got to follow it. That's fine. But leading up to it, there's I don't know. It's just it's weird from a series like this. I was really surprised to see that happen again in the second game after what happened in the first game.
Yeah, totally. Well done, mate.
You're right. Well done is right. Thank you.
I thought 3 was like the low point in the series, but 4 I thought was
really.
Yeah, I thought 4 was really good. 3 I did not like a whole lot.
3's not great.
Oh, okay.
So Letitia, but 3 isn't a great game.
No,
well, I've heard mixed things. Some people are like, yeah, okay, that's like you guys said, bit of a low point, not as great and whatnot. Then there's other side who's like, what, it's underrated. Actually, is really good. But hey, maybe I'll have to experience that on my own.
So they're making a movie now, apparently, and Spider-Man. Tom Holland is playing Nathan Drake. So I'm assuming it as a younger man, right? Like a little bit of a prequel kind of a thing, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. And Marky Mark is playing Sully. Which just the whole thing just sounds really weird. Like that doesn't sound like Sully, and that doesn't sound like Nathan Drake. Nathan Fillion, I thought would have been a perfect Nathan Drake like 15 years ago, but didn't work out that way.
Yeah, Wahlberg as Sully could be interesting.
Wahlberg's in it.
Yeah, he's Sully.
Why do they do this?
But I think
why do you get these? Okay, hold on.
I knew I would pinch a nerve here. That's kind of why I brought it up.
No. It's not pinching nerve or anything. It's just these video game movies traditionally never do well, right? It's popcorn movies, whatever. Whatever. Why not get some unknown people in there doing it and really fucking make it pop?
Because that's not how movies work, man. They have to have the guaranteed success if they're going to spend all the money on making it. Those big Hollywood movies, so they, that's how it works.
Trash.
I like Tom Holland. Tom Holland's good. Like he's
Sure.
decent action in that, but he's not. Yeah. And with the greatest respect to him, he's like Nathan Drake's a handsome dude. He's a big, buff, handsome guy. Like he's an action hero. Like Shane. Like Tom Holland isn't that, and Mark Wahlberg isn't quite old and wizened enough to be Sully either. I know we're going to play younger Sully and whatever, but it's a strange casting choice. But like you say, Joel, it's they've got to make the money. They've got to attract people in to watch it.
Maybe it'll just hand out hamburgers.
Could be.
Maybe.
Could be.
That's a winning formula there. Apparently in America, hamburgers. Yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
Big popular
Let's see
place.
if anybody gets that reference. Probably not. Oh well.
I was just going to spell it out, but now I'm gonna walk back away from that one completely.
I wanted one of those in Vegas, but we found In-N-Out Burger, and that was it. It was like nothing beats that,
dude.
Nothing beats that.
Don't even talk to me, man. Those are the
best burger I've ever had, mate, and I never will have.
All right.
I think I'd fly back to Vegas just for one.
I'll meet you there. I'll skip the burger, but be good to hang out again. Hopefully that happens again here in 2021.
Come on, we all get together. You're gonna burger.
You can get the burger in 2 pieces of lettuce.
No,
No bun. Just get the burger. And lettuce.
He is not. No.
It's
You're
good.
not.
Yeah, you know.
All right. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll start walking to Vancouver so I can slap Shane around if he doesn't get that second backlog game in, and I'll meet you there in Vegas on my way, I guess.
There we go.
I'll
We'll
make
take
an
the
L.
Maserati down.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's it. That's your kickoff to 2021. You can officially begin your year now that ABOG has laid it out for you.
Enjoy.
Absolutely. And tell us what your plans are. Let us know what your resolutions, what you're planning on doing. Once you've listened to this and thinking, actually, that sounds good, man. I want to do a bit of exercise. I want to do something new. Let us know. Reach out.
All right, everybody. Take care. See you in 2 weeks.
Happy New Year.
Bye.